pull a PLS AFO with compcore reinforcement. So how I measure that is, for my plastic, I'll take my tape measure and I'll go the length of the full cast, which is 32, and then I'll take 2 measurements to make sure that I have the widest point of my AFO. So I have 13 here, and then I measure over here at the dorsum and the heel, and I still have about 13. So I'm going to go 1632, so I utilize my plastic in a correct fashion. So when I put my compcore in the oven, I want to make sure that my plastic is going to incorporate exactly where I want it. Here's my compcore, which is measured to be exact to the drawing of the practitioner. So a few minutes prior to the plastic being set, I'll throw my compcore in so the temperature of the compcore matches the temperature of the plastic. So for this, I measure from the top of my cast, giving 2 extra inches on the plastic. So before my compcore begins, I'm going to position it 10.5 inches on the plastic that's in the oven. So let's go over to the oven. Now you see I have a mark here, which is my 10.5 inches, and then I have a center mark, which is where I'm going to lay the compcore. So my compcore is going to be right about here. And I laid a mark here on the oven, so this is where I'm going to lay my compcore to bring my plastic over. I'm getting ready to put my compcore in, but the first thing I'd like to do is test my vacuum system. There's nothing worse than knowing that you don't have vacuum when it's too late. So a good rule of thumb that I have incorporated into my practices is to just put a plastic bag over it and allow suction, which is what I'm showing. Having good suction, I'm ready to go. So now I'm going to put my compcore in, so the plastic is going to be ready to go. So I position it where my mark, which is half the distance of what I'm going to bring this plastic over, and then I'm going to match up the center mark of my plastic with the 10.5 inch for the compcore to be placed in the correct position. So I'm going to position my plastic. And I'm going to use a wet rag to bring out any air bubbles. That's going to make it nice tight. Put it back in the oven for a minute, and then I'll get ready to pull it. Now we're going to pull our plastic. I'm going to lift it from the bottom, like lay it. If you look at the compcore, there's no air bubbles in there whatsoever. That's going to give it more strength, and it's going to allow the surface of the compcore to touch the plastic, which is designed to do. Once we cut this off, you'll see how nice of a smooth trim line it is. Or I should say transitional line from the plastic to the compcore. You can't even feel it. So it's good to go, and once it cools down, we'll show you what it looks like.